Sure. One, as always, I'll give credit to Indiana, a team that's, as advertised, well-deserving of their ranking. I thought we had opportunities early in the game. The interception by Jamari gave us some momentum. We ended the drive with a field goal. We had the sack TFL to force a punt the second series, and we have to find ways to turn those type of opportunities into touchdowns, not just field goals or points. I thought we came out the second half drive by Malik, I thought gave us a little bit of life, but then to have the kick and then the drive start, and they answered with a big drive there to score and match our touchdown. And then really for the first time, the turnover bug hit us. And, for a team that's number one in the country in turnover margin, I thought we had 3 straight turnovers, a turnover and downs there in the third quarter, and then the wheels kind of fell off. So we can't hang our heads. We got a big game next week on the road. We got to get this thing watched. I obviously didn't coach well enough. The players obviously didn't execute well enough. One of the things that I'll continue to say is that we're not going to be victims. We'll get this thing corrected. I'll get on the tape here the next couple of days here, get us back in here Monday with an opportunity to go to New Jersey against Rutgers and try to get this thing back on track. As I said earlier, this team will continue to fight. I'll continue to coach the crap out of them. They continue to show up. I thought they put the necessary work in, but just weren't good enough today, and that's on me as the head coach to make sure we're good enough on game day, and we weren't today. With that, I'll open up for questions.
Mike, if we could go back to that first quarter, the first 2 possessions you began on their side of the field, if you could expand how, just things didn't seem to click and how disappointing it was.
Yeah, again, I didn't coach us very well. We got to do a better job when we get those opportunities. I can't say it enough. We have had opportunities to seize momentum, to maybe put doubt in people when we start the game. I thought we started really fast on defense the last few weeks, and we've been really inefficient on offense. And it typically starts with being able to have balance. And I always say balance is being able to run and pass. And today, we weren't very good running the football. We weren't very efficient. When we tried to run the football, they offered us a defensive style that we saw on tape where we thought Malik would have to be able to get the ball out because the run game against Indiana's defense wasn't something that they've given. I think they've given up one explosive run all year. And that's where there's a lot of pressure on a young quarterback to have to make some plays. And that's where we have to do a better job of making sure we help him when he's struggling like that. That's where you'd like to have the ability to run the football a little bit to take some pressure off of him. And again, I'll continue to coach that kid up. He'll get these things corrected, and we'll get back on track this week.
Yeah, Mike, just any initial thoughts on the coaching and execution and what have you on what it's going to take to get this thing turned around?
Yeah, it's just the work. When I tell you, Gene, I'm usually pretty authentic up here at the podium that we've had probably one of the best Tuesdays and Wednesdays we've had, and those are 2 work days that are really tough. But today, again, some of these young guys played like young guys against a really good team. When we had opportunities early in the game, we did not take advantage of them. Our defense continues, as I said, to get off to a fast start, and somehow, some way, we've got to get the offense going. And to me, the inefficiency on offense is just the inability to have balance. And to me, that's my job. I'm an offensive guy. If I got to get back involved in making sure that we can create the balance to take the pressure off of them, I hate putting the kid in that situation where it's all on him, and it wasn't. It's on me as the coach. It's on me as the leader to make sure that we have the ability when he's not at his best, that we have other answers.
Hey, Mike.
George.
Malik seemed like his most unsettled today so far this season. Played good defenses like Nebraska and so on before. What was it about this Indiana defense, or him specifically, that just seemed so unable to get settled in the whole
It's so hard to judge that, because if you judge it based on the type of week he had for us, and I thought we went in with a good plan, but sometimes the best plans don't get executed. I thought we protected him again, so some of the issues that maybe he faced were self-inflicted. Because we protected him well enough, and there were some opportunities early on, And again, this is part of the learning curve of a young quarterback, but also for me as the leader to make sure that when he is struggling, I hate putting it all on having a freshman to have to carry us through there, and that's where we're going to need to have some answers for taking pressure off of him when he's not at his best. And again, this isn't on Malik Washington. This is on me as the head coach. As y'all know, I'll stand in front of you and own it, and I own this one. This ain't on Malik. It's on me.
And you mentioned the running game a little bit too. Offensive line keeps the quarterback clean. DeJuan Williams, touchdown. He's your best offensive player today in that regard. Where is it going back to the drawing board, just trying to find new strategies to getting it?
No, so today, again, it's really not that hard. Like, they're a middle field closed team. So when you play middle field closed defense, you usually have 8 guys in the box. If you count and do math, you have to throw the ball versus 8 men in the box, which puts pressure on our quarterback. And then when you don't throw the ball efficiently, now you're grabbing for straws, and that's where we'd like to be able to line up, have the ability to run the ball efficiently, whether they have extra guys in the box, make a guy miss. We've seen people make our extra guy in the box miss, and we just haven't been really efficient in the run game. If you watch it and you look at what we're doing on the inside, it's mostly when the ball is on the perimeter, people bring the extra guy to blitz, and we have to have the ability to either make a guy miss or get it blocked up and use the quarterback a little bit more as a runner.
Hey, Coach. This is now a 4-game losing streak. What do you have to do as a coach to make sure this team, this locker room doesn't unravel like it did similar to the end of last season?
I've already done it, Michael. I've done it. I have a relationship with these players. These players will play hard for me. I will coach them hard, and I will hang in there with them. I've done that work. It ain't a year ago. That's why when I talk about not the same old Maryland, it ain't. These guys will work, and they have put the work in. Now, I've got to coach better, obviously. My staff's got to coach better, and we've got to have better answers to help this group and this inexperience, because we're not young anymore. This is game 8. We're not young. We're just inexperienced, and so we have a tremendous amount of experience as coaches, and I think what we have to do is figure out kind of what we need to do to get the run game going on offense, score in the red area on offense, get our quarterback that when he's not playing well, that we don't have to put it all on the freshman quarterback.
Coach, the defense seemed to not be able to wrap up the running backs and take them down. They're kind of like bouncing off the running backs. Do you have to get back to the fundamentals when it comes to tackling the defense here?
Well, I would say that was late in the game because I thought early on we tackled the ball really, really well. Minus a few where guys maybe need to wrap a little bit better, but I thought early in the game we tackled well. I thought our defense, once again, they played a lot of plays because of our inefficiency on offense. I think we had 21 plays in the first half. I think the time of possession, which we typically have been pretty good at, was not very good today. And, when you have a defense that doesn't have the depth that we have, eventually it's a lot like in boxing. Those body blows wear you down, and then all of a sudden these missed tackles pile up. And, we gave up 400 yards rushing. I think the quarterback pulled the ball a couple of times for some big explosive runs. But we played pretty good defense early in the game. I think if we could create a little more balance on offense to score points, that changes the momentum, that changes the energy there. And we had it there in the first half with the way the defense played and didn't answer on offense.
Mike, I know whether or not you were coming out of an open week, it was always going to be a tough game. But that being said, some of the ball security issues, some losing guys in coverage, like I think Cooper in that second quarter touchdown. Were you expecting guys to be a little bit more set on some of these fundamentals coming out of where you had sort of a bye week here?
I guess I would answer it is that if we were number 1 in the country in turnover margin, I would imagine that we've worked on those ball security issues. And today I'm going to chalk it up of just we weren't very good. It was not our time, our day today, because we do ball security drills every day to start our practice. We've been a really good team on offense of protecting the ball. Defense has continued to create turnovers. But today in that third quarter, Malik put one on the ground. I don't even know who put the second one on the ground, and then 81 at the end. And then we had the turnover on downs, which is, again, turnover. So when you play the number 2 team in the country in the third quarter there to turn it over 3 consecutive, this is what happens. This is how the game gets out of hand.
Hi, Coach D here.
D, what's up?
How are you? Look, you guys got some goodness. You run the turnover, the penalty battle. So the penalty battle there, that's a cleanup, right? But also second half. you guys increase the tempo offensively. So I would love to know what you guys went in the locker room, what you talked about, and how you can use that, because it looked like it was working outside of those turnovers, how you can take that on to next week.
Yeah, it's a fine line in terms of how we want to play. Obviously, to help our defense and to control the ball, which and is what we've gravitated towards, which takes pressure off the quarterback. But we felt going in the second half to get some jumps to jumpstart us on offense, we needed to play with a little more pace. And when we played more up tempo, Malik made a few plays there, got DeJuan the ball in space. When we sped the tempo up, we get more opportunities for our playmakers on offense to get opportunities to touch the ball. So, what we need to do is, again, continue to try to do the things that our quarterback allows us to do, while also making sure we do the things that gets our best players these opportunities. And we need to play with more tempo. I thought we were a little lifeless there as we had those, didn't have those opportunities in the first half. So we wanted to try to jumpstart the offense with tempo. Did that early in the second half, and we were able to come away with points. Thanks.